peace, peace. Peace, peace. Peace to you, goddess. Just catching vibes, riding waves. Today I'm led to reference the Eight of Wands in the space of esoteric knowledge. I think we all need this process. We need to understand this process, so we'll deal with like a new moon energy. And we're also referencing a lot of planets that are in Sagittarius, whether you have Venus, whether you have the sun and the moon, and all of these energies. And you might be a Western astrologer and you might say it's not in Sagittarius, it's in Capricorn. Well, it had to travel through Sagittarius to get to Capricorn, right? So we're referencing a point of the actual sky, and we're doing it the right way. It's very difficult to understand astrology if you do not understand sidereal astrology with it. It's very important. Now, I will not trigger a person to say you have to learn sidereal. If you're a Western astrologer, you got to stick with it until you feel naturally led to the sidereal path. But understand that, like, after sidereal, after Western astrology, there's a deeper level to this astrological game. And I'm not trying to trigger people that are already stuttering Western, like Western is wrong. No, Western is right. But sidereal is just a different level. It's a different communication that deals with right and exact time. And the reason that I share that to you is because the powers that be, they use this science, right? And if I give you a key, right, you think that you can open the door. But if the ridges ain't aligned perfectly, you will not unlock the door. Now, Western astrology is the key. Sidereal is them little ridges that allow you to stick it in, right, and unlock it. That's the truth. If anybody tells you that I'm lying, tell them we could do a live right here, back and forth. You can get any Western astrologer and tell them to prove me wrong if you don't agree with me. Okay? Get a Western astrologer and tell me that sidereal is not supreme over Western astrology. And that's not what this conversation is about. This conversation is about truth and your ability to see truth and reference truth and breathe truth and talk truth and know truth. It's like doing dirty laundry. The modality of the cleansing is not to remove the clothes, but to remove the imperfections. So when we reference change, when we reference release, when we reference truth, that is not a knock. That is not a diss. That is not me trying to hurt your feelings or even argue with you. If you will go against the truth or the facts, then you would be doing yourself and your generation and the people that you fuck with a disservice. When you are a shepherd for the people, right? When you are a magnetizer for the people, where you bring people to their higher selves, you cannot then lie to them, right? We're not parents. We are real shepherds. We are real spiritual truthers out here, right? And this is the time and space for change. If we're able to kind of see and differentiate ourselves between the fact of doing the same old things, saying the same old things, then we can actually get to the truth. The reality of energy, Venus conjunct, I can show you guys better than I can tell you. You probably won't be able to see it, but it'll give you more of an idea. So if you see that big light to the right of the screen, that is the moon conjunct Venus yesterday. Now, the moon has moved on, but Venus is still where that bright light is at, right? So that bright light is recorded. You got to understand this. So why am I referencing astrology and tarot? Because people know that when planetary energies align with constellational facts, that it has an imprint, it has an impact on the world. Now, they know that people have the free right to understand astrology. But when you have the masses of people who are understanding astrology, yes, they have the key, but they don't have the perfect ridges to open the door. Sidereal astrology is that because it will tell you exactly what is happening when it is going to happen. It's very smart people who think that Mars is in Taurus right now. Very smart, very beautiful people. The difference between Mars being in Taurus and Mars being in Aries is night and day, right? Mars in Aries is war-like energy, man. If you flip Ram, you get war, right? They want to incite a war on your energy, on your ignorance, on your ability to connect by a slight mispronunciation, a slight misalignment. So if you were doing any form of building in the whole entire planet and you were doing angles and you said to the contractor, all right, I need these angles to be 30 degrees more than what they say on the actual paper, you would not have a building, and you would work very hard to build it, and everything would seem as though it makes sense. But then you building over in your neighbor yard, you building out into the street, and then the zoning people would say, wait a second, you're going too far, right? But you're like, well, everybody else is doing it, so it must be right. And I really want you to understand that as difficult as it is to understand sidereal astrology, it is right. Right? It is right. Now, if you don't want to be right, if you want to just, so it's like masculine energy versus feminine energy. And one is not better or worse, but I'm just trying to put you in the mindset of understanding astrology and understanding how the powers that be will use this energy to manipulate your minds into thinking that they have the power and you don't. It is happening right in this energy that we call Ophichus, Sagittarius, and or Capricorn, and or Scorpio. So when you encapsulate these energies in a constellational point of view, you are talking about the major leagues. So when you have Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, the Sun, the Moon, and Venus in this same area, it means two things. And you can see this clear as day wherever you go. If you cut on the TV, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It won't even be a point where you can argue. But if you're not into the sidereal side of things, you'll be really feeling as though energy is in Aquarius, energy is in Capricorn. No, energy is in Ophichus. Energy is in the realm of the ancestors. Energy is in the realm of healing, of success, of peace. It is in the energy of Hod, right? Mercury is Sagittarius. This is the deacon, right? So when you reference the deacon, it's the overall energy that sits with that primal energy. So when you have Sagittarius or you have Ophichus, the first deacon is the 8 of Wands. Now, the deacon and the card is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is a dual symbol, hence the two snakes. You have medicine and you have commerce. And at a deeper esoteric which means hidden. You have sexual offerings to the goddess. If you got ears, please have ears and listen to what I'm saying, because I'm not here to waste your time. I'm trying to give you a valuable lesson on esoteric science and how it has been manipulated, because we don't understand duality. You have a lot of black people who imagine themselves as being righteous and good because they are doing something good, right? But black people, we live in a dualistic world. We have to be good and evil, right? Because white people, what are they? Good and evil. It ain't right or wrong. It's just how it is. You can hear about the most tragic story about a white person, and collectively, they won't bat an eye. They'll show up to the hardware store the next day like, hey, Jim, hi, Bob, how you doing? You heard about that serial killer guy? No, I haven't heard about it. That's interesting, and keep it pushing. Let something happen to a black man or a black woman. It's in every conversation. It's about the biggest, most tragic thing that could ever happen. Once again, not right or wrong. We live in a world of duality. There is good and there is bad. There is light and there is dark. There is medicine and there's also money making. If you have an emergency, you might have to go to the hospital. But if you're feeling great, you ain't about to say, let me pull up to the emergency room and just let me just get a checkup or something to that effect. Why is that? Because it's there for a specific purpose. It's there for a specific point in time where you're not aligned with your Mercury or you're not aligned with your health. And to bring you back to life, they sigilize you with a specific sigil that is intertwined, no pun intended, with Mercury. I'm going to make it plain for the people who just don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Tell me why, when you turn on the TV, and please, I don't want to say it because I don't want to get this video flagged. When y'all turn on the news, what's the number one word that y'all hear? There's no wrong answer. I just want to get a feedback from the family. What are they trying to get the people to do? We're going to break this down because I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to let y'all run. This video is for the people. It ain't about what I feel or what I see or what I think. What is that they show on the news every single day? No matter what you turn on, they talking about your favorite fear, but what are they trying to fear you into doing? Rebel. There you go. She said it. She said it. She said it. So what does the V word, and not the good V word, what is that supposed to do? It's supposed to heal you from something, right? That you may or may not have. Look, I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, but at the same time, all of the companies associated with the particular vibratory frequency as that V word that I'm not going to say, because I'm not here to prove a point. I'm just trying to show you something. And it's all facts. You will not find any of these companies not in the public stock exchange space. You can invest money into these companies. So what do you have? You have commerce and you also have medicine. Because it's a hustle. I heard Cuomo say, the dude in New York, to say, if y'all don't start, y'all better hurry up. Y'all going slow. We were supposed to get everybody hooked up to this healing, right? But they tapped into a different type of healing. What is going on? We're the providers of healing. We are doing the sidereal astrology and prepping, and we're knowing and we're thinking. You got to think as a power that be how they going to operate, because they're going to set up all these types of energies centered specifically on a healing that they administered from a disease that people may or may not have. Once again, I'm not here to argue. I'm not here to take the position of the dominant narrative either, because I don't agree with the dominant narrative. Because when it came to the dominant narrative, when it was time to lock my ass up, wasn't nobody there fighting for that. They agreed to that, and that was the end of it. I didn't agree with it. Didn't nobody care. Long story short, people going to do what they going to do. Now, for the spiritual being that is having a human experience, what do you do now that you see this thing being played out? Now that this thing is getting played out. No, it's not if it gets monetized. It is getting monetized. You can look at any V-word company that is putting the energy out into the atmosphere. They got it by the millions of doses available for public consumption. And the many people that take it is a direct financial result. Direct, not indirectly. So the reality, if they heal one person or not, the reality is that they have made money in relation to the process, which is we know as the Chris Brown, right? Chris Brown, born in 1984, right? So what do we then now do since they are administering healing? We have to tap into our own modality of healing. But see, the reality of our healing is amazing. It is law of attraction. When we look at the Crowley deck, the Eight of Wands is called swiftness, right? It is what I speak it into existence. I mean, I have no barriers, because the worst barrier is when they tell you that they are a barrier. The worst power is when they tell you that they have the power. See, we're all humans down here, right? We're all ants. The only thing that makes us different from each other ants is memory. How does that work out? Well, if I own a church, the records and history that I've had within that church, people invest into the church. They might give their property to the church. And as many people as I help, by the time that they pass away, in generation after generation, I just have more knowledge than the average person. Now, that's at a human level. So we can look at these things mundane, but then we can triple, quadruple, take this to a whole nother level when we realize that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So the greatest record keeping, why do you think that was? Because when it came to our Akashic records, we wouldn't value it. We would value the physical shit. Now, I'm just a person that truly believes that he is not a he, but he is a spiritual being having a human experience. And that's how I give it up for Mercury's deacon in Sagittarius, or Ophichus, or Imhotep, or the natural ability to heal yourself. And it's not mumbo jumbo. I talk a lot on YouTube and Instagram because I provide the coursework to actually not mumbo jumbo hotepery. No, realistically, logically, you can wrap your mind around it, how to heal yourself. And it may be some people who need the V word because they're not going to do the chakra work. I mean, it might be some hoteperies, because I ain't going to call them contemporaries. I'm going to call them my hoteperies, who might need to take it because they listening to me. You sound interesting with your little chakra talk, right? People is sick. People is hurting. People is unsure. People is going through a lot because they are not listening to the healing that's being put out there by the team. This is a case of knocking the messenger and not really tapping into the message. Because the message is not about me at all. Zero about me. Nothing about my message. Nothing about Chakra Nova. Nothing about the third eye. Nothing about the crown chakra. Nothing about none of the work that I'm doing. All of the stuff I'm talking about has zero to do with me. If you tap into this work and you follow these simple steps, this is ancient knowledge. This is in relation to my cosmic memory that is going to go over whatever record keeping. So what does record keeping entail? Family history? No. Oh, I'm over that. Like fucking land history. Nope, we over that. Where are you from? Africa, America? Nope. Beyond that. Beyond that shit. I'm from from somewhere so far away that it'll make your head spin so fast that I can't even tell you where I'm from. I'm from the land of Ophichus. I mean, I get into this so many times, but I need to explain it more because we don't fully grasp when energies, and I tell this to everybody that I ever had a reading for. If you had a reading for me, we talked about Sagittarius somewhere in your chart. Or you would have never even got a reading from me if your Neptune wasn't in Sag. Your sun wasn't in Sag. You got Sag and Scorpio, or else you're not even on this level, right? I'm sure it's a lot of people who do not or would not get a reading from me because they are not interested in the realm for which I come from, in the rhetoric for which I speak. I speak the language of Imhotep. I speak the language of Ophichus. I speak the language of healing. I guarantee you, without a shadow of doubt in my mind, I'll bet every cent that I have in the bank that when you tap into your law of attraction, your spiritual beingness, your divine beingness, you will begin healing yourself. Now, the people who do not hear this message, they will tune into Fox News and seek the healing because everybody has pain. Everybody is dealing with shadow. Everybody is dealing with hurt. So healing is necessary. The modality to heal is up for grabs and is up for money. So to tie into a deeper point of offerings to the goddess, we talked about this in the cult history of money. The whole concept of money begins with offerings to the goddess. We were all herders, hunters and gatherers until it was this man who got some yoni from a goddess, and something was different about this man, the way he woke up, and you know, he had a nice affirmation about himself and things of that nature. And he said, man, I can't even take credit this time, y'all. I got some of this nookie over there from Diane. Diane? Yes, I have a light, a halo. You see this halo that I have? I was deep diving in that thing all night, man. Listen, though. I can't feel right just giving you the juice and the sauce, right? I have to charge you, fam. I have to charge you if you want it. Now, I understand if you don't want to pay. I'm not going to force your hand on this. This is why they say pimping is the oldest profession. This is the history. You can Google it. Google the word shekel. Google shekel and goddess. And everything that I say will pan out if you don't believe me. But I'm giving you the Cliff Note version for entertainment purposes. He say, man, look, you can go back to your wife and keep hitting that regular, degular, schmegular. Right? I'm going to go back here with Diane and set my world on fire. Right? And then his homeboys started coming, right? Dropping, at that time, There was no money. There was no coin. It was some wheat, right? If you get into the shekel, and that's where you get into Virgo, and the Virgo is also the virgin, but virgin not because she never had sex, virgin because she never was married, because that thing was too good for one man. It's the truth. It's not something that I'm making up. Now it's been metamorphosized into never having sex. No, we're talking about a specific and special yoni that has superpowers. She was considered a goddess, and there were brothels and temples. This metamorphosized because it was too much. It was a line around the corner. It was too much wheat. He said, look, I'll give you a little token, and this little token represents how much wheat, or it represents when I need to collect, or it was a token of exchange. And so he'd be like, all right, I got my token. Can I get my healing? He'd deep dive into that thing, and his halo would be open. He'd go off and set a civilization over here. The root of civilization, it was knowledge. It was cultivation. It was civilization building. But you just couldn't get it from reading books. You had to have sex with a goddess. In 2020, you say it's prostitution, and it's yucky, and it's nasty. And as much as I know that, as much as we know that, guess whose phones is going to be ringing off the hook tonight? Listen, we are programmed as men to get that healing. And generally, you can, as a man, bring that out of your woman, right? Out of your divine partner. Or she may not have it in her. It's not a bad thing. But she needs to recognize the difference between a divine healer versus a person who's just having sex for what it feels like. I'm trying to have a real, mature, adult conversation in reference to sexual energy. Everybody is not the same. This is from a male's perspective. I was literally driven to not be with a prostitute. That's too easy. Any Joe Schmo can get on the internet and spend $150, right, for a sexual experience. No, she needed to be my girlfriend. I needed to be right there, and whatever she needed. It was mutual. But it was healing. It was awakening. Is when I feel alive. Because I was in my ancestral root, my ancestral grit of civilization building from the ground up. Now, when everything falls, how much money do you think that stimulus money went to dudes that buy pussy? Now, see, y'all don't know this about dudes when they get money. I'm telling you, baby, when dudes get their tax money, when dudes get their stimulus checks, the first thing that they buy, not a PS5, not a flat screen, they won't even buy food if you guess the right one. They going to buy some pussy. If men could afford it, they would buy it. It's expensive. Because the healing effects that come from having sex with not just sex. Sometimes you get into the space of just having sex and it's confusing. The same way as if I play basketball, I'm not a professional. So you wouldn't pay to watch me play basketball, nor to watch me have sex, but that's a whole nother conversation. It's some people, though, you would watch have sex over and over again. Now, wouldn't you? What do you call those people? Pornographers. Is that a free business? No, you get paid for that. So it's very important to figure how you can tap into this unseen energy moving forward. Now, Am I saying that everybody should turn into hoes? I'm saying that everything we know in relation to creating value has been founded on feminine energy, worshiping and building around the goddess. When you go to any ancient civilization, you see temples and venerations to the goddess. The idea then is that I wouldn't be this smart. It's a lot of men that understand what I'm about to say, and women might find this to be very offensive. And I'm forewarning you. If you do not like to be offended, click the video off now, because the trigger warning is in effect. I would have not been able to articulate and speak and reference anything in the space of spiritual development if I wasn't licking on that clitoris, absorbing that vaginal energy and allowing it to be a part of me. This is an experiential experience that, as much as I would have wished to be with my wife, hoped for and prayed for and dreamt of, I needed to manifest and be in manifest in actual real life to feel the residual effects. So in the space of hood mystic, this whatever you want to call it, the back end, or when I tap into the motherboard, is generally from the space of making love to my wife, because my wife is my matrix. But when you reference a matrix, that's just like your wife's arms hugging you, right? Or a strong energy hugging you, right? So what is that? That is healing. So the root of all healing is sexual experience. But the lack of sexual experience might make you feel like you want to die. Might make you feel like you need to take drugs to get over it. Listen, if you're not having sex, then you probably drinking, you probably smoking weed, you probably fucking exercise fiend, you probably studying some shit in school, you doing something, right, to validate your experience down here. But when you want to heal, you have to heal through healthy sexual, spiritual bonds, and there's no way around it. So the dirty laundry that represents the energy of Hod, the swiftness of the Sagittarian Mercurial force, is the fact of cleansing yourself from all of the bullshit. Because you're going to have sex anyway. Y'all fucking anyway. I'm not saying don't fuck, but I'm saying please cleanse the energy in the relationship. When I told my wife the truth, it wasn't so we can break up. It was so we could get closer together. Because if I hold things in, that's like a dirt stain on the shirt. And it don't gotta be a dirt stain on the shirt. You could just wash it. And the shirt will still be there. Your relationships will still be there. But if there's no transparency, then there is no magic. There is some sluggishness. There is some drug addiction. There is some depression. There is some sadness. Because when it comes to sexual energy, you cannot contrive of this shit. You cannot hope for this shit. You cannot wish for it. You have to experience. So the reality of Scorpio is a much more serious topic. And maybe next year, maybe the next cycle, you would have taken it more seriously. I promise you, if I ain't said shit on my channel, if I ain't said shit on YouTube, I said that I was in a relationship with a woman. That's been my primary focus. And I know that's like, well, big fucking deal. Who ain't? No, you don't understand. I have to give it up to what the fact of what's healed me. It's different. So a woman who is promiscuous might feel devalued. But I wonder if you have the yoni that could create a hood mystic, or create a John, or create a Jesse. That's a powerful ass womb of real live healing. You gotta see these kids to believe it. I listen to myself. I think about all of the things that I do for my family, but then I also have to humble myself and realize that all of the things that my wife does for me just by holding space and being present. As a man who is really Sagittarian and Mercurial, it's very important to have somebody that is going to allow me to fly. It's different when a person is like, no, let me bring drama to your world. Let me piss you off. You know, she could do that when she could do that whenever she wants. But she's assisting and making sure that I'm healed. And I need ladies to understand if what they're doing in their relationship, she doesn't pull on my energy, and it allows me to be myself. Never in my life. So ladies, I wonder, are you healing your husband? Because we ain't dealing with no fuck shit right now. Are you healing your husband, or are you expecting him to be greater than he already fucking is every day, proving how of a man he is for his family? I'm not talking about fuck niggas. So a lot of y'all got fuck niggas in your brain right now and it's not computing. I'm talking about men who show up for their families. Are they being consciously healed from a divine feminine aspect? If you are, then you're not really thinking about the V word. But if you not, and it's a lot of people that's not, and I'll be seeing them in these chat rooms, they real interested, and they gonna become even more interested because the pressure is going to be on. And honestly, all of this conversation, all of these vibrations, all of this extra oomph is for the activation of the third eye chakra. That was probably one of the most powerful, well-received, well-reviewed experiences in my life. And I'm just excited to see it's like a new beginning. But this new beginning is all about y'all. It's all about servicing the community and providing value, because I'm more in the space of wanting to learn what's next too. So with all of that being said, I really do hope that you could remove and wash away all of your impurities and learn that you could actually do sex magic right now. But you got to understand that that's what you're doing anyways. So if your energy is all mixed up and mixed-mashed and you're having sex with people, that's the root of your depression and your sadness. And nobody knows who you're having sex with, but you will show up real fucked up to people. And nobody will know, but you'll know. So I offer this to you. Take some time to tell people about how you're going to heal them and see if they run away or not. Because that's what's happening right now. We're in a space of real life healing. And we know this by turning on the TV. Obviously, they're trying to provide a solution for people that, of course, you may not need it, right? You got it all together. You woke out here. But understand that this plan and everything that's been started is already intact. And it's for people who don't want to heal themselves. So be sure to check out the links in the bio. I do have the Crown Chakra course that's starting on the 20th. You can pre-order Chakra Nova, available right now. That's coming out May 23rd. So if you're thinking about getting us an anniversary gift, don't even worry. We're going to have a big... I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what COVID is looking like, but it might be a Zoom or something, but generally I hope that, you know, they will allow us to, like, not even allow, but it might be a small little RSVP, like, anniversary dinner, because honestly, let me keep it blood raw and real with y'all. Without y'all, there would be no us. I'm not into the echo chamber and shit. I would have been got a motherfucking pickup truck job or some shit like that. I ain't for this, but y'all are
talking to ourselves.
Man, look, I ain't got time. It's been well received, and we just want to, like, have a good time. So May 23rd, we going to put something together, but that's also when the book will officially launch, and that's Chakra Nova. So we've been working 7 months. I done gave up on everything that I was doing. You can check my YouTube channel. 7 months ago, none of my content was related to this. I don't even really know what I was talking about. It sounded good when I was saying it, but as we enter in this moment, I'm not even curating or bashing myself, but I wasn't fully ingrained and fully invested in the fact that I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. And I really want to see what my 2021 looks like. And not only me, right? I need you to vouch for the whole statement, right? And honestly, nobody has gotten it yet. So I'm just getting on these lives, you know, bringing forth the information and the knowledge that you are a spiritual being with the potential to heal all of your wrongs and make all of your wrongs right. But you have to do it within yourself. And this is why we put the Chakra Nova course up. We didn't know, right, that the world would need healing as much as it needs. But we are happy that we are obedient to our higher selves. We are obedient to our Eros. We are obedient to our ancestors, to our guides, and we just listen and we just tune in, and we're, you know, more than grateful, more than in a space of enjoyment, and just really excited that these ideas and the way that they look is just coming together the way that they are. And as a family, we're just going to seek to love our children more, understand our children more, and that's where we stop at. You know, everything else is like a bonus for us, and we're just happy that everybody is, like, understanding where we are going and where we're trying to take it. At the end of the day, I personally am trying to hold this space for everybody, man, woman, child, black, white, Chinese. It does not matter. If you resonate with this message, then we are not even like understand it. You got to resonate. You got to tune in, tap in, and fixate on the fact, right, that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. And when you fully understand it, you know where to find me. Peace.